who really won the war in Afghanistan. You guys wanted me to watch this, right?
I've been deep in these documents, each of which is a piece of evidence.
My
that
man
helps
loves
piece
documents,
together
dude.
A very important question, which is
Let's
who
go.
got rich off
No,
this
we'll do Wendover too.
20-year
Hold on.
war that we fought in Afghanistan. But first, let me tell you what happened on August 15th, 2021. The Taliban had entered Kabul after taking over the entire country of Afghanistan. The war ended as it had begun, with the Taliban in power once again. You probably remember the scenes from the Kabul airport. Total chaos as Afghans tried to flee their country. But there's one guy who saw a business opportunity in all of this. This guy, Eric Prince, generously offered to help charter a plane to evacuate people from Kabul. The price tag, $6,500 per person. That was the market price that Eric Prince decided. But this wasn't the first time Eric Prince used the war in Afghanistan to get rich. In fact, this was one of the last of many instances where this guy profited off the Afghan war. And some of the ways he did it were kind of messed up. So after digging through the numbers, the reports, the Senate hearings, all of it, we've established a list of some of the top people who got crazy, stupid, rich off of the war in Afghanistan.
On my orders, the United States military has begun strikes against Al-Qaeda terrorist training camps and military installations of the Taliban regime in Afghanistan.
Before we get into our list, I want to talk about an important term here, which is government contractor.
$300 million in government contracts.
U.S. defense contractor. Our broken system of government contracting.
At U.S. Federal Contractor Registration, we know that a government contract is worth more than the dollars awarded.
Here in the United States, we love the free market.
I'm talking about this.
So instead of having the clunky old federal government take care of all things war, we hire a lot of private companies to do it for us. This is companies that make our weapons, feed our soldiers, build our bases, fuel our tanks, and literally fight our wars. Yes, we have private armies that we call security companies that basically are soldiers for hire. What this allows the government to do is post a job out there, like, we need someone to build a road in Afghanistan. And in theory, what happens is a bunch of private companies come together and they all bid on how much it would cost to build this road. And whatever company gives the best price is chosen to go build that.
Someone in the chat said the CIA let him loose on this one. Bro, the thing is, this is why he's not CIA, he's just a liberal, okay? Because it's very, very liberal to just be like, oh, by the way, like, I totally recognize when America does imperialism 20 years after the fact, but like when imperialism is happening, and we have involvement, then we can't talk about that. Okay, that's the whole point.
That road. It's supposed to help the government get the best price. Okay, so where am I going with this? What I want you to understand is that there is this bidding process for private companies to go do things that the government needs. But in wartime, a lot of those processes of bidding go out the window because we're in wartime. So it's like an emergency. So instead, you get a lot of situations where there is no bidding on contracts. The government needs something done in Afghanistan really quickly. This company can do it. Name your price, we'll give you whatever you need.
As a client, the U.S. government is...
The best movie about this is War Dogs. And they literally cover the no big contract.
guaranteed to have the funds to pay you and will always pay you.
And it's that very process that allowed people to take advantage of a system to let billions and billions of unaccounted for dollars be poured into private companies. All of this contributed to what a former Secretary of Defense called a culture of endless money inside the Pentagon. Okay, wait, before we go on, I need to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is BetterHelp. I've said this a bunch, I'm gonna keep saying it, which is that I'm a giant supporter of therapy. I think therapy is something that is stigmatized and Specifically for me, maybe it's because I was a guy or something, I don't know, but I never got messaging that I was supposed to go to therapy. But I've been going to therapy for 2.5 years now, and it has truly changed my life. BetterHelp is a service that tries to make therapy more accessible. By
BetterHelp, therapy.
contractors, let's get to this list of people who got rich. First up is Robert Stevens, the former CEO of a company called Lockheed Martin. It's a company that manufactures like this helicopter, the Black Hawk. They manufacture missiles, fighter jets, bombs. They manufacture a lot of stuff that we use in war. This company gets a lot of business from the Pentagon. Like in 2020 alone, this company got $75 billion worth of Pentagon contracts. I know that like when we get into billions, it's really hard to like know what that actually means. But just to put it in perspective, the entire budget of our foreign ministry, the State Department, totaled $44 billion. For the entire State Department, all of our diplomacy, $44 billion. And Lockheed Martin alone, this one company, got almost double that to make our weapons. 90% of Lockheed's revenue comes from the federal government. Their core business, the thing that keeps them afloat, is war and security. So Robert Stevens became the CEO in 2004. This was 3 years into the war in Afghanistan. And as the war intensified, so did Robert's wallet. And I know this because this is a public company, and all of the compensation for executives is public knowledge to all of us. You may have to dig through some boring documents like the Lockheed Martin proxy statements from the 2000 annual meeting of stockholders on April 27th, 2000, but you can find it. So let's see how Robert and his war business did in the 2000s. So before the war, in the late 90s, the CEO of Lockheed Martin was making...
How will stakeholder capitalism fix this, I wonder? I mean, this is a good video. Johnny is at peak physical condition when he does videos like this.
I am now a lib. Hasan, why
Straight
did you
up.
do this to me?
Love it.
I trusted you with all my heart. The world will hate me now.
But how will his approach to capitalism fix this problem, for example?
Around $2 million a year, if you include his salary and bonus. $2 million bucks. It's a pretty good compensation. Okay, but then the war started. Lockheed started to get a ton of contracts, started making more weapons, and look what happens to the CEO's compensation. His salary stays about the same, just over $1 million bucks, but his bonus now jumps up to $3.2 million. Bringing his total
he's being compensated for doing a good job.
$5 million. This guy's making $5 million bucks. War's doing pretty good for him. Not bad. Let's jump 1 year later. It's now 2006. And Robert Stevens, the CEO of Lockheed Martin, brought in $18 million. Wait, what?
Bro, now he's making XQC numbers, bro.
From 2 million to 5 million to 18 million. Whoa, Robert Stevens is doing pretty darn good. Okay, but let's keep going. The year after that, Robert Stevens brings in $30 million in his compensation. 31 million. $31 million. Non-equity incentive plan compensation, $8 million. Holy smokes. What? $30 million in compensation? I mean, if we were to like graph that, the war starts here. We're looking at something like this, and this. The war was a life-changing event for Robert Stevens, the CEO of Lockheed Martin.
You know,
okay, so that's our first guy.
You know, among millions of people as well. That, yeah, major bag alert for Robert, but like also a lot of other people.
Got super rich. Let's move on to the next one. A guy named Steven Orenstein. This guy's company, called Supreme Group, was chosen in 2005 to feed US troops in Afghanistan, to provide all the food. I mean, when this guy got the contract, I'm sure the only thing that happened is that his eyes started flashing with money. Since he got the contract, Supreme Food's business increased 50-fold. Over the course of 6 years, the Defense Department paid Supreme $5.5 billion to deliver food to the troops. $5.5 billion.
Major bag alert.
90% of his business, 90% of his company was providing food to
By the way, the most dog shit food imaginable.
troops in Afghanistan. I mean, talk about winning the lottery. But remember what I said about emergency funding and contractors? Orenstein realized that he could charge absurd amounts of money for the meals that he was providing to troops. And he knew that no one would notice because they were just throwing money at this war. The government contracts just kept coming no matter how pricey his meals were.
There's our beef ravioli.
Orenstein was like, dude, there's no adults in the room. Like, I'm a child in a candy shop right now. Let's see how far I can take this. Not only was
Major
he
bag
charging
alert!
insane prices for meals,
Sorry.
but then he started to create fake subcontracting companies and started to win contracts that were for nothing. And the Pentagon would just pay him a ton of money for doing no work. And what did he do? He just pocketed the cash. He got super, super rich off of this, to the point where he became a billionaire. He got put on the billionaire list or whatever. But eventually he took it way too far and he got caught. And yes, we are now reading a Senate hearing from 2013 called Contracting to Feed U.S. Troops in Afghanistan. How did the U.S. Defense Department end up in a multi-billion-dollar billing dispute? I don't recommend you watch this hearing. It's very boring.
DLA had paid Supreme about $3 billion, including $1.6 billion for food and water and $1.4 billion for transportation and storage costs.
The numbers being thrown around in this hearing are insane. The Pentagon overpaid nearly $100 million just in like transportation costs, which, as one congressperson said, that is an astounding amount of money. And then to put it in perspective, she says that that amount would pay for nearly 100,000 children to have access to a Head Start program, which is an early education program in the US. But instead, this taxpayer money went into Orenstein's pocket. Nice one, Stephen. Think of the children, come on. So what does it look like when someone gets punished for this? Well, here we are in this Senate hearing where the people who gave all of this money without checking where it was going are being questioned. And when they asked what happened, they say things like this.
The contract management efforts that we applied to this did not keep pace with the changes that we were seeing in our requirements.
Let me translate that for you. What he was really saying is, we weren't really paying attention because, you know, war. According to this court document, Stephen eventually did have to pay up $389 million. But let's be honest, he got a little slap on the wrist.
15 months.
Just $389 million? Let's go! Pocket the rest of that shit. Are you kidding me? Couple mil to the lawyers? You're out, dude. Oh, that's a devious lick, dude. Oh my Lord. Imagine we talk about welfare queens and like poor people getting fucking like a crumb of money from the American government. Meanwhile, they're doing this shit, okay? Yeah, no, keep yelling at each other, dumbasses.
But the guy got rich off the Afghan war, which is why he's on this list. Next up is this guy, Eric Prince. This is the guy we talked about at the beginning who was like charging $6,000 to fly people out of Afghanistan.
I don't think any human being who has a heart and soul would support efforts to profit off of people's agony and pain as they're trying to depart a country in fear.
Blackwater, baby!
He's an ex-Navy SEAL who inherited a bunch of money and decided to start his own private security company called Blackwater. Remember what I said, private security company really means soldiers for hire. This guy trained military and police forces. In fact, he describes his mission for Blackwater as, quote, trying to do for the national security.
Can't believe he's dead naming Blackwater, brother. It's called Academy, okay? They did war crimes, and actually they're better off now. They changed. Sorry, then did they change it again, actually? But I don't know what their last name is, okay? Reformed.
Apparatus, what FedEx did for the Postal Service. Privatize, make more efficient, get rid of red tape, etc., etc. Kind of a scary thought, but okay. He got his first contract in 2000. It was a small contract, $204,000, to help train the Navy for terrorist attacks. Then 9/11 happened. An absolute tragedy for the American people, but an incredible business opportunity for Eric Prince and his
Bag alert!
FedEx for the Army. The US was desperate to mobilize their troops for this new kind of warfare, so they turned to Blackwater to help them. The US hired Blackwater to come protect their CIA compounds or to escort VIP diplomats. But wait, let's just get something clear. What are these guys? Are they troops or like military?
Are they even human? No. The answer is no. They are not. None of those things, okay? They are not human.
Technically, no,
They're
not.
subhuman.
But they sure look like troops. I mean, look at these guys. But really, these guys are just like fancy security guards that the government hires and gives them security clearances and sends them to war zones so that they can operate like soldiers under the jurisdiction of a private company. But they're just security guards, so...
Yeah, so they would never do war crimes, for example. They would never do literally fucking war crimes, especially considering that they're like pretty much unaccountable. That would never happen, and it certainly never did, of course.
They're not like mercenaries or anything, right? By 2007, the government had given Blackwater over $1 billion in federal contracts. Let me repeat, this little company that provides a private security force went from meager contracts of $200,000 to help train troops to sending troops abroad to actually be in the war zone and getting $1 billion worth of taxpayer money within just a few years. As you can imagine, giving guns and security clearances to a private army might lead to some thorny abuses of power. And in fact, in 2000...
By the way, they should have just literally... This video could also be titled, Why You Will Never Have Healthcare, Dumbass. Like, why insulin costs 10 times more than over the other side of the fucking Canadian border. Yeah. And then, for the record, the American government pulls this shit demonstrating that they do not care about their citizens. And then you dumbasses turn around and you're like, but they care about the fucking safety and security of Ukrainians. Oh my God, dude.
Keep doing it, dead hassle.
You have to be the biggest dumbass on the fucking planet if you think that this country is not the worst country on the planet. Like, you should have to be a dumbass or, sorry, a nuanced liberal. A nuanced liberal from Europe, a Euro lib, which has a lot of nuance, a lot of room for nuance for it. That's why I recognize that the American hegemonic imperialist superpower that does shit like this, of course, ultimately for the betterment of society. Man, I'm just so stupid. Your nebulosity is showing exactly. Oh man, I'm just a dumb dude. I know dumb American Bernie, bro. Don't understand it.
2007, the guards of Blackwater were in Iraq, in addition to Afghanistan.
Anyway, war crimes
and
incoming.
Fire on unarmed civilians.
Indiscriminate shootings by Blackwater guards leading to the deaths of civilians.
In a crowded public square after a car bomb had exploded a mile away. They killed 17 Iraqis and injured 20 more. Blackwater lost...
Wait, what? You think the U.S. is the worst country ever? The United States is responsible for more death, destruction, bloodshed, violence than any other country currently on the planet. That is just a undeniable, factually accurate statement. Okay? You might say other countries, okay? Might say that other countries simply do not have the power that the United States currently has. And if they did actually have that power, they would be worse. And I will say to that, maybe. I can concede to that. Except we don't fucking know. Because they don't. Because America is the dominant power. But don't ever come to me and be like, actually, the America, you know. I'm talking about contemporary, post-World War II. Shut up. What about Germany of 1940? Fucking shut up. We're talking contemporary society, okay? Post-World War II.
lost their contracts. It was a huge scandal, and it was another instance where there was some accountability. And yet, Eric Prince sold the company and came out on top. Another guy who got really
always, baby. Always
rich off the Afghan war. Oh, and those security guards who opened fire on innocent civilians were tried and convicted. But then, wait for it, they were completely pardoned by Donald Trump. Do we have any faith in humanity? Next up, we've got...
Oh, come on. Don't glance over it. Dude. Peaceful war dove United States, right? I mean, Donald Trump, right? He literally fucking exonerated those dudes, pardoned the dudes who did the war crimes under the Blackwater umbrella at the behest of Eric Prince, who was also related to Betsy DeVos, the education secretary. Clearing the swamp, though, baby. Oh, that's right. Oh, Trump really fucking, he cleaned it up so good. Ooh. Swamp clean, dude. No corruption. Fuck. And for the record, do not misunderstand me. Democrats are just as fucking psychotic, okay? Don't even for a moment be like, oh, dude, what about Trump is so corrupt, so historically corrupt. No, motherfucker, Democrats are just as corrupt. Fuck you mean? They 100%. That's why it's always funny when people talk about like, what's his name? Paul Manafort, right? People are like, oh, Paul Manafort, he's so corrupt. He was working with fucking dictators. And it's like, okay, who was his fucking partner in crime? Podesta, motherfucker. What do you mean? That's who do you think that guy is? Who do you think he is working with? Everyone is fucking, everyone should be held to the same standard.
Got these two guys. They're nicknamed the War Dogs. There's a movie about them that I haven't seen, but I want to.
It's a really good movie.
Kind of an emergency.
Sorry, don't worry, I have to go first. I'm American.
But really, the best thing out there is this Rolling Stone article. These guys were ages 25 and 21 when they started an ammunition company. They bid the Pentagon and won $300 million worth of taxpayer money in contracts. And they were going to supply the Afghan National Army with guns and ammunition. I mean, this is insane. These were like early 20-year-old kids. One of these guys, David, was just a few months earlier a massage therapist, and then was like, I'm going to have a little change of career. I'm going to go sell $300 million worth of guns and ammunition to the federal government so they can fight a war in Afghanistan. These guys got super rich off of this, and soon were living a fancy life with really nice cars and expensive apartments in like Miami. But what they were doing here was buying ammo from China and then selling that to the US government.
Bag
which is
alert!
Like a giant no-no in arms trading. They eventually got caught, pleaded guilty, and one of them was sentenced to jail for 4 years. So this is a rare case of like, guys got rich and then they got caught and they actually...
For the record, the only reason why is because, they weren't as well established as the other... As the other motherfuckers, like
green.
Like they didn't have enough, you know what I mean? And also, even then he went to jail for 4 years. Dude, it's so funny. Our criminal justice system positively is European when it comes to like wealthy people. Okay? It's the most European aspect of the American criminal justice system. The moment that like a rich person has to, see justice, it's like, oh, dude, we'll kiss you for 4 years of kisses on the cheek. Yeah.
Actually got...
I mean, it's fucking dope. Yeah, they were drop shipping munitions, which you have to respect. Like, obviously, I hate the war and all of that, but like, these motherfuckers were duping the American government by Alibaba Express bullets. With Alibaba Express bullets, dude. It's crazy. Defense contractors generated 7.35 trillion since 9/11. Fuck yeah, dude. Oh, it makes my dick so hard, dude. Holy shit. That's fucking awesome. America. I'm sorry. Want fucking healthcare? Fuck you. I'm on my grind set, bitch.
Punished, which didn't happen to Supreme Food or Eric Prince. The difference is like when you're like a 24-year-old kid, you don't have a lot of money and influence, so you can't like weasel your way out of accountability.
Aww.
But what this story shows you is just how easy it was to get in on this culture of endless money within the Pentagon. The massage therapist who had never owned a gun before started an ammunition and gun company and got $300 million for it. Just like a gold rush. Okay, so those are the war dogs. Next up, we have this guy, Fahim Hashimi, one of the several Afghan nationals who got super rich.
Bro, this is literally the Dostum mansion, I think. He's standing in front of the Dostum mansion.
Part of this group called the 9/11 millionaires. In the early days,
you're actually slow, ban me. We know you don't. Go doc. He says, both it is imposturing. America bad, we get it. I'm so slow, but this motherfucker's on a delayed release, dude. Love that. Following since July 8th, 2019. Previously subbed for 3 months. I wonder what community this guy is fucking, I wonder what community this guy's from. Man. Last time he was here was like early 2020. Wonder what happened. Wonder what happened to him. I will not be banning this person, by the way. Based. Later chat. No, you're too pathetic and irrelevant to even ban.
Days of the Afghan war, there was huge need for local fixers and translators. The people who got in early helping out US forces got really savvy to how the US was operating. And they quickly realized that they could provide a bunch more local services and make a ton of money. So Fahim started a business that eventually turned into like a media corporation with like TV stations and a construction company and even an airline. His company started racking in like $200 million a year in government contracts. There were a bunch of Afghans who got super rich riding on the coattails of all of this money being poured into the country, which it's like, good for them. Their country's been torn apart by outside superpowers for decades. Let them at least get something out of it, for heaven's sake. Next up, we have our very own Congress. Nancy Pelosi and Ted Cruz aren't like arms dealers.
Trigger warning.
They can still get
oh no, I'm sorry.
Everything is gone. God!
Because if you're a member of Congress, you can buy stocks in defense companies like Lockheed Martin, and a lot of them do. At least 47 members of Congress and their spouses hold between $2 million and $6.7 million worth of stocks in top defense companies.
Individually? Or wait, no, not every single one of them. Totaling 2 million, right? All together, like collectively. No fucking shot do they all have individually $2 million in stocks.
Of the 36 House members who hold stock in military contracts, 20 are Republican and 16 are Democrats. It's almost split in half.
Oh, I love that, actually. I love that. Because that basically shows exactly just the disparity, or rather, the bipartisan support for never-ending war, baby. Let's go. Oh, man, that's sick. Best country in the planet, by the way. This is not bad. America, not bad, okay? Other countries also bad, so shut the fuck up, guys. Not a good idea to say America bad. Just don't have nuanced perspectives like that. Remember, U.S. bad isn't a political philosophy.
I mean, let's get into the details here. Like, which of the congressmen have the most money invested in defense companies? Good question. The winner for this year of Who's Getting Rich Off War is Kevin Hearn, a Republican from Oklahoma, who owns over $1 million in stock from defense contractors. $880,000 alone in Honeywell, which is an aerospace contractor that Congress really seems to love. And notice how well their stock has done, especially since 2009, when Obama sent a bunch of new troops to Afghanistan. I mean, this is a lawmaker who has to give approval when we go to war, and he stands to gain if we do. But wait, the conflict of interest gets worse when you look at somebody like Senator Gary Peters, a Democratic senator from Michigan, who is a member of the Armed Services Committee, which is the committee that authorizes the Pentagon's budget. Here's his financial disclosure. He's invested in a lot of things, including Raytheon Technology Corporation. Raytheon is a major government contractor for war.
Bag alert.
Time things.
Also 15K, broke boy. He's on the Armed Services Committee, and all you could fucking muster up was 15K. Imagine being poor, dude. Can you imagine being a fucking senator and being such a broke bitch, dude? Oh my God, it smells like broke in here. Holy shit. Oh, fuck. God damn, dude. My man can't even say cha-ching every time he's fucking, making decisions. Ugh. Disgusting. You literally donated more to Ukraine just on Eldon deaths? Yeah, I mean, fuck, dude. Fuck. That's a lot of money for OK. He's from Michigan, not Oklahoma.
This guy gives money to the Pentagon to do war things with private contractors, and he is invested in the...
That's why, like, same argument extends to fucking Brandon, right? Where I criticize him before. Like, he does it because he has love for the game. Like, he looks at this system and he says, like, this is a sick system. Like, I love this system. And I will go broke advocating for the system. And even as vice president, like, I will not be able to pay for my son's medical treatment. Like, I'll put a second mortgage on the house to pay for my son's cancer treatment until, Obama comes in and is like, dude, you're fucking insane. Like, I'll pay for this shit. Whereas, like, Brandon, literally, he just, like, he didn't even profiteer enough, which is, like, kind of disgusting. You've been in Congress for 7 million years, dude. You were literally a senator when Americans had, slaves. Like, when black people were not allowed to vote, you were a senator. You voted to do the 3/5 rule, and you still have not been able to fucking pay for your son's cancer treatment. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's like, it's almost worse. It's almost worse to just, like, be a senator from Delaware and not, like, did he have, like, a major gambling addiction or something? I don't know why. He was just able to scrounge up pennies, dude. Yeah, it's sad how a lot of these motherfuckers are selling out people not even for that much money. Yeah. Making bad choices as a father doesn't make you inherently a bad person. What? Don't make fun of cancer patients, chat. What? Hey, we're not making fun of Joe Brandon's son. We're making fun of Joe Brandon for not having enough money while being a fucking corrupt ass, government official for a very long time.
10 months.
Private contractors. In July, this guy's committee voted to increase defense spending by $24 billion, which is more than President Biden even proposed. So in very direct terms, this guy is voting to put more money in his pocket.
That's why Twitter libs are telling you to buy out politicians instead of buying a house, let them out. Yeah, but they're fucking stupid because they don't understand that, like, there is no one person that can individually change the way that the system is designed, because the bourgeois government is designed to fucking churn out these outcomes regardless, okay? It's a never-ending cycle. So one person being like, hey, I'm going to lobby you to do socialism, which I don't even have that kind of money regardless. Wait, I thought we just showed that he's not corrupt. He did it for the love of the game. Yeah, that makes it worse. Bro, just pay Senator to be communist, you silly goose. Yeah, literally. I'm just going to pay Kirsten Sinema to be a communist again.
That is how our system works. Here's another financial disclosure of a senator who's on a committee that deals with cybersecurity and protection. She holds stock in 6 defense companies, with most of her
Bro, first of all, fire that entire committee, okay? Because our cybersecurity and protection is just dog shit. I cannot think of a worse committee. It's like building an American criminal justice reform committee. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not happening, dude. Or let's give Americans healthcare committee, okay? Nope.
Her money being invested in an IT contractor. Do you get it? IT contractor that she is invested in. Cybersecurity committee that she uses to vote to give money to the thing she's invested in. It's just like,
bro, by the way, this is unironically, this is one of Johnny Harris's better videos, if not his best. But also, this is precisely why I'm like, you know, let's fucking jail them. Or like, at least let's fight them. You know what I mean? Like, let me punch a senator. Legally, of course. I'm not saying like in a video game, I'm saying like legally, let's change the rules so I can punch a senator. Or if I need to whip them, I use a real whip. Okay? So at least we can make it fun and then we can film it, you know, pay-per-view. That's a self-funding way. I mean, everybody would be watching C-SPAN. Okay? Or they just go to jail, honestly. That's just bad optics if they ain't white. Okay, well, I'm not the only one who beats them, dude. Johnny Harris, when he's talking about America, two-based, not always. Definitely does do a little bit of defense.
like, come on. Oh.
Dude, I love this. Have you seen what Adam something said about your comments about him? You stand by what you said, or do you realize your American outlook? Someone linked this fucking idiot my tweet. I'm just curious, smile. Oh, dude. Well, you know, curiosity did kill the cat. I hope you understand that. Perhaps you should be less curious. And also, if you were curious enough, you would have known what my commentary on it is, because I covered it for 3 hours. And also, Adam something, unfortunately, is a little bit too nuanced and too intellectual.
Okay, so that's our list. And let me be clear that this is not the exhaustive list of everyone who got rich. There are so many more people who got rich. There are so many more people who abused the system. We will never know their names. We will never hear about them because they didn't get caught. In the end, the Pentagon spent $14 trillion. $14 trillion. Between 30 and 50% of that went to private companies, military contractors. Companies that give huge payout, huge compensation to the top leaders. That's like $5 trillion worth of taxpayer money going to fatten the pockets of these corporations. And for what? What did we get? We now know that it didn't do much for this country and its people. 20 years later, the country is falling back to where it started. But what it did do is it made these people really, really, really rich. Good for them.
Anyone else hear that, or was that just on my end? Oh, you guys heard it too. What the fuck?
Grab him right by the hussy.
They mentioned it in the chat, in the comments? Is in the video? There's a slight glitch towards the end. Anyways, it's interesting to me as a nine. Okay, yeah, okay, it was the video.
Okay, I'm gonna go try to not be depressed about how our democracy works. See ya.
God damn, dude. Woo, that was scary, dude. That was some scary ass shit. Holy fuck. Okay, that was cool. That was actually a really good video. See what happened in my stream? I heard.
Arm us up,
I know, we need guns.
We need guns, Maya. You need to arm us up, man.
I know, we need guns.
I can give you my hotspot.
Because I would start shooting back.
Yeah.
Just the average Texas stream at work, dude. What? These are so good because you're meant to despair about a pretend dystopian future where a pretend movie character is different. The year is 2050. Batman was too problematic. The name is now Bat Person. Has BLM bumper sticker and Batmobile. Drinks only soy milk. Non-binary. Uses they them pronouns. Non-violent. Funded by Bill Gates. Had a vasectomy. Dude, this smells like divorce court, dude. Straight up. Had a vasectomy. No one under the age of like 36 has ever considered this as like a thing. Okay? If you are talking about vasectomies, you are too old to be making memes on the internet, motherfucker. Straight up, dude. Provides a safe space for others. Refers to women as birthing persons. No butler.
Has what?
Russian TV is moving on from copium to grief stage already. One of the top pro-Putin pundits in Russia modeling. Bro, this is not good, bro. He's going to go to jail, homie. End of Russia. That's what is on the table right now. Consider this talk show of Solovyov, top Putin's propagandist. Their point is any treaty Russia signs with Ukraine will mark its defeat. That's going to be the beginning of the end, not of Putin's regime, but of the Russian state. Wait, what?
Clapping hands, clapping hands, clapping hands, clapping hands, clapping hands, clapping hands.
I mean, they got psychos everywhere, I guess. All or nothing? What the fuck does he want? Nuclear annihilation of Ukraine? What a psycho, dude.
Пишет Россия. С властью, которая сегодня в Киев, будет означать поражение России в этой операции. Полное и окончательное. В глазах народа России, в глазах армии России, в глазах всего мира. И тогда
And then support of China, Arab world will evaporate. India, China support.
И Китай уйдет. И арабского.
Bro, motherfuckers will name themselves Comrade and then be like, Adam murdered you on YouTube because he has a more nuanced view of arming Nazis. Like, just tell me you're fucking brain broken, dude. What is Comrade Aaron, dude? I mean, it's a perfect, actually, honestly, perfect. Comrade in the name. Aaron is his fucking name. Dumbass sitting around in Iowa being like, dude, this fucking guy killed you, dude. Fucking killed you, dude. Actually, we should be fucking arming violent right-wing ultra-nationalist paramilitaries, brother. Fuck yes, dude. It's so sick. He has the nuance, dude. He has the nuance. Yeah, bro. I love being a fucking hammer and sickle lefty and living in Ohio. It's sick. Adam, something and this Russian guy agree on nuclear war? Yeah. Yeah. Except the Russian guy's like, yeah, let's bomb Hungary first. And Adam is like, we'll be fine.
Мира испарится. Сейчас на повестке дня стоит, когда началось.
When Russia sent an ultimatum to the U.S., Russia also sent an ultimatum to itself.
Россия и НАТО. Я сказал, Россия предъявила ультиматум и себе тоже. Россия не имеет права проиграть.
It has no right to lose. Adam is Czech, not Hungarian. No, he lives there now, but he's Hungarian, I think.
Эту операцию в Украине не имеет права. Это будет означать, что у России нету сил.
It means that Russia has no power to deal with whom? With Ukraine? With Zelensky?
С кем? С Украиной? С Зеленским? И пошли на договор. Хасавюрт по сравнению с ним.
Hasavurt would look a great diplomatic achievement in comparison.
Потому что Хасавюрт не был началом.
Because Hasavurt was not the beginning of the end of the Russian state.
Он был одним. А этот договор может быть началом.
Bro, this dude is talking way too much shit, first of all. But it's a little bit scary because if you're like a top Putin propagandist, then you're working at the behest of the government. Now, I don't know. Hungary was the epicenter of the tanky meme, just saying. I mean, yeah, he's the only one who actually gets to say in that process. But he should know better than the tanky and who's not. Like, he knows. He's pushing for Russia to not make any deal until Ukraine is dominated, but that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? This is a guest in Solovyev's show, not Solovyev himself. This guy is the guest. Because if you failed with Ukraine, then why do you threaten the NATO? Why do you threaten the U.S.?
Чего вы замахиваетесь на Соединенные Штаты? Вы с Зеленским не могли справиться, так чего вы? То есть тут у вас на повестке дня...
You have a choice. Either you win this operation or start the final countdown. For the record, Americans obviously have no way of comprehending something. So like this, you're like, oh, this is crazy. Look at this bloodthirsty shit. I'm just going to reframe this for you, which is, and this is obviously fucking psychotic bloodthirsty. But, you know, Fox News exists in our country. And if you've ever heard someone on Fox News talk about like Iran or some shit, you know that this is the exact same thing, okay? So that's just like, this is like the Fox News version, but the Russian version of Fox News, which also is very similar to literally Fox News, actually. So there's that part of it as well. But a lot of people, I think, get confused by Russian media when they see stuff like this and they think, oh, well, it's monolithic. It's not. And that is actually deliberate. I was listening to the, what's the fucking podcast? Hold on. Let me hype them up. The New Republic podcast that one of my favorite. On the Politics of Everything from the New Republic with that's their theme song. I just sang their theme song. Sorry. The New Republic has a Politics of Everything podcast with what's his face? With Alex Perrine and Laura Marsh. Alex Perrine, who I love and appreciate, friend of the show, Alex Perrine. Anyway, they had a bunch of like people who have been in Russia and have done like media for Russia and have been in Western media in Russia. And they were talking about this. And one of the guests actually had a really good take that I haven't really talked about before. If you think that like Russia leading up to this moment was, and the same goes for Turkey as well, which he actually brought up Turkey too. If you think that like Russia did not have like liberalization, like a touch of liberalism until this very moment where like new laws were implemented about like that forced all of the fucking the Western media to basically leave the country because they call it a war and all this other stuff, and like that basically shut down like BBC Russia, shit like that, you would be wrong. Obviously, Russia did have, they had like a semblance of liberalism. Navalny is a great example of this. Like they would allow you, they would like fuck you up, but until you got to, it's the latest episode of the podcast. Yeah. Until you became like a genuine threat to the government, they would just allow you to say whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? And it's, yeah, this person is correct. Al Capo Foundation. There's manufactured opposition and a diversity of political views, but it's all done at the behest of the Putin government. So we've covered this before where when you hear something, the joke is when you hear opposing sentiment from someone that's in the Duma, which, you know, they are allowed to exist, few and far between, but still allowed to exist. Or if you hear opposing sentiment from the media, for example, there is a big likelihood that they are still being propped up by the Russian government. Okay? And this, of course, creates an environment of instability where you can't really trust anything that you're hearing. Adam Curtis in Hypernormalization actually talked about this a lot as well, where everything technically, even the opposition, is still backed by the Putin government. Whereas now, that's definitely different. Until recent years, there was a lot of personal freedom. Basically, there was an unspoken agreement between the people and the government that people don't interfere too much with politics, and the government won't interfere with their personal lives. Yeah. But now it's changing, of course. It's like now they're going full-blown buck-wild authoritarian. And by the way, of course, there were authoritarian tendencies of the Russian government even back then. And so if you were to have thought that, like, Russia was like China with its control of information, control of flow of information, you'll find yourself confused when you hear this sort of attitude. Or even when you hear things like that Ukrainian lady, that like the lady, the newscaster, was whose father was Ukrainian. When I said like this might be a Russian op. You remember when I said that and people got mad at me? That there was like that blonde Ukrainian lady and I was like, this seems a little suspicious. Like, where she came out with the fucking no war sign and then was like arrested, and then American media was saying like she disappeared. She did not disappear. Blonde Russian lady.
I love Abby Martin's
and
work.
she did not disappear at all. She just got like a light punishment, if I'm not mistaken. And I thought that was probably staged, not by the CIA, but by the Russian government. Because I can totally see them doing some shit like that, where they're just like, I can totally see them do shit like that just to be like, look, even the fucking anti-war initiative is controlled by us. Yeah. And she basically got fucking fined $300. She didn't go to jail for up to 15 years, like the statement implied. She didn't go to jail for up to 15 years.
A year spent in the best community with the best streamer hassle.
We'll see what happens. She might still. And if she does, if she gets hit with the book, then I'll say, no, it wasn't a Russian op. But if she actually just gets like a light sentence, then 100% it was an op. Any opposition that's genuine to the Russian state gets assassinated like Boris Nemtsov. Yeah, if you actually present a serious, legitimate threat to the Russian government, like Navalny became, okay, when he was able to fucking basically, do YouTube and whatever the fuck he wanted. But then he also kind of fucked up conspiracy, not gonna lie, my man. I mean, I don't know. I'm stating, and this is not a pro-Russia take. This is an anti-Russia take. For those of you who don't understand what I'm trying to say. Even Moldovan Mama Liga understands it. He says everything is a Russian op. Everything. Moldovan Mama Liga might be a Russian op. To make it seem like those who oppose Russia are crazy. Okay? Imagine thinking Navalny wasn't just placed by the government as an act of manufactured guerrilla opposition. No, I don't think Navalny was placed by the government as an act of manufactured guerrilla opposition. Or even if he was originally, he didn't become, he became something different than that. Why do I feel that way? Because they poisoned him, dude. The Russian government doesn't just fucking poison you and send you to a work camp if you're just the Russian op. Okay? If you're just controlled opposition, you get to run around like the Communist Party. Okay? You get to have even fucking Duma seats and shit. But it doesn't mean anything beyond that. You get to, every now and then you vote for the recognition of like LPR and DPR, but then you don't actually, you get to vote for the recognition of LPR and DPR, but then you're like, oh, I really hate that like we invaded Ukraine. That's kind of fucked up. We shouldn't have done that. It's like, well, you voted for the other thing, the precursor for it. So it's actually a theory that has been going around both Russia and Ukrainian internet, so it's not that far-fetched. It just feels it, and I might be wrong, but it just feels like a lot of that stuff is staged usually, because people want people might want to fucking. A good analogy is that Navalny is more likely Russia's Fethullah Gulen. Yes, that's a great analogy. Holy fuck, Astro Tiggs. This is an incredible analogy. Yes, Navalny. Navalny is definitely backed by American interests, obviously, but that is why he got poisoned. Like that is why they fucking tried to kill him. Fethullah Gulen, for those of you who don't know, is a radical cleric, a radical Muslim cleric living in the Poconos, who is a CIA asset. He's responsible for Islamic schools all around the world. He absolutely gets funded by the American government, by the CIA, and likely, I mean, there was a parallel government that he basically had control over, and tried to do a coup in 2016 and failed.
Blessing.
Real opposition wins you the FSB Award for Excellence in Journalism and Politics, like how publishing a part of the Panama Papers wins you the CIA Award for Excellence in Journalism. Yeah. It's a bit more complicated than that, I think. I thought it was unconfirmed that Gulen had any connections to the 2016 coup attempt in Turkey. Unconfirmed by who, motherfucker? What do you mean? It was like literally Gülenists that did the coup d'etat. Like, and I'm saying this. I'm not a fan of fucking Erdogan. You guys know this already. I can't even go back to fucking Turkey. Most people who despise Erdogan in my chat, and there are plenty of them, obviously, the majority of the Turks in my chat fucking hate Erdogan. They hate Gülen more. And there's a reason for that. Because Gülen is the American puppet. So he is the religious dictator that would overtake Turkey, but would be doing it at the behest of the United States. So that's even worse than Recep Tayyip Erdogan. It's like when you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. But the hard place is also America backed. No, I'm not yelling at you. It's fine. You're just a little uninformed on Turkish politics. It's all good. She's literally doing interview rounds. I believe she's on house arrest.
Moscow for her first American broadcast interview. Marina.
Yo, bro, come on, dude. If this person presented a valid fucking threat, if this person was a legitimate threat to the Russian government, they would have killed her. I'm sorry.
Defying Vladimir Putin during the evening news on state television,
bro.
With a powerful and courageous plea for peace. She joins us now from Moscow for her first American broadcast interview. Marina, thank you so much for joining us this morning. With that act of defiance, you now face the prospect of years in prison. You put your life in danger. What compelled you to take that risk?
First of all, I want to say, everyone, the Russian people are really against the war. It's Putin's war, not Russian people's war. And I want to speak Russian language because Russian is a great language of Pushkin and Tolstoy. То, что касается этого протеста,
This protest, was a spontaneous decision for me to go out live on air. But the dissatisfaction with the current situation has been accumulating for many years because the propaganda on our state channels was becoming more and more distorted, and the pressure that has been applied in the Russian politics could not leave us indifferent. When I spoke to my friends and colleagues, everyone until the last moment could not believe that such a thing could happen, that this gruesome war could take place. And as soon as the war began, I could not eat, I could not sleep. I came to work, and after a week of coverage of this situation, the atmosphere on the first channel was so unpleasant that I realized that I could not go back there. I could see what in reality was happening in Ukraine. And what we showed on our programs was very different from what was going on in reality. And my first decision was to go to Manezhnaya Square and participate in the protests. But I could see...
Like, people don't understand why Russia Today houses opinions that are literally like anti-nationalist and like super fucking far left, but then also super far right. But then they think like, oh, this can't be a Russian op. Bro, everything is a Russian op, okay? Everything. I'm just saying. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. And I'm probably being really fucking mean if that's not the case. But you know what I mean? Like, they do it all the time. The name of the game is causing chaos. The name of the game is to sow discord and cause chaos. It's just like, so you can't trust anything. You're doing CIA op? Yeah, of course. I famously love talking about lesser known CIA State Department assets like Fethullah Gulen to a broad American audience to hide my CIA backing. American media has made everything seem like CIA, Mossad, or Russian operation. What does Russia stand to gain with this? I don't know. They could stand to make it seem like to combat Russophobia that's occurring, to show like the rest of the world that like not all Russians are responsible. Hopefully to get some people to feel bad about the sanctions on Russia. You know what I mean?
See that.
Like, see, people are actually fighting against it, to make it seem like you know, there's actually it's not monolithic, and then there's actually like fucking people who are very much against the Ukrainian invasion.
Time, the new law was adopted that could mean criminal persecution of protests, and I could see security dragging people away from these protests and putting them in jail, and I decided that this was going to be a rather useless act.
If he's so openly critical of the government, why haven't they killed him? Things like that. Dude, they tried to kill him. What do you mean? Bro, it's not like they didn't try to kill him.
Many times. It's a disgrace. And yet we come out and we have rallies like this. We have tens of thousands of people. And he came out and he couldn't
What the fuck is this?
Circles, right?
Bro, why did you send me this shit?
And then, oh, you lost the state of Georgia just by a whisper, just by a
I want the OG one. Give me the right side broadcasting one.
In the biggest election in history in terms of vote. We got the biggest vote in history. Likewise, South Carolina, the biggest vote they've ever had, the biggest vote in history. And then we lost Georgia. Biggest vote in history.
Thank God, dude.
Likewise,
Patriot Rally News Network.
The biggest vote they've ever had, the biggest vote in history.
That's right, in Georgia.
And then we lost Georgia. And the people in Alabama said, that doesn't happen. The people of South Carolina said, that doesn't happen. And it doesn't happen unless it's rigged. 4,000 ballots were listed as being impossibly scanned at the exact time. They were scanned at the exact same time. And it doesn't work that way. You can't do that. The machines don't work that way. All 374,000 in-person ballot images in Fulton County are, unfortunately, they're missing. They're unable to be found. Gee. A contractor hired
Boo, talk about Putin. Boo. We don't care about the fucking stolen election. We got it. Yeah, the election was stolen from you. You're the righteous president.
Little mail cards and 1,200 ballots that were wheeled in through a back door after several days after the election. And finally, over 100,000 obsolete and outdated voter registrations.
So apparently, Gray name bigots in your chatter, DMing bigoted shit to your trans chatters now. Just got one myself. Take care of yourself, other trans chatters. Report them to the moderators, and they will fucking clap them into. They will blow their cheeks to smithereens. Okay. We got you.
Ryan Kemp and Brad Raffensperger and Attorney General Chris Carr, who's a disaster, are guilty of gross dereliction of duty at a minimum, and now you must vote them the hell out of office. Okay. And remember, they did nothing except hinder and impede the process of finding out What the hell
I would
happened?
love to have Donald
Once
Trump
and
on the
for all,
stream. A
it's time
dream
to teach
would have been a
the
dream.
rhinos a lesson, and it has to be a lesson that they
Straight
will
up
never
a dream,
forget.
dude.
The days of phony politicians betraying Republican voters and, frankly, voters of our country, it's over. If Brian Kemp and Brad Raffensperger had not surrendered on the election, which they did immediately, right from the beginning. Remember, they didn't want to do that special session for the senators, Republican senators, and thus lost 2 Senate seats. We would right now be living in a very different world. We would be in a very different country. The truth is, I ran twice, I won twice, and I did much better the second time. And now, we just may have to do it again. Democrats are bad on the economy. They're horrible on inflation. They're terrible on the military, bad on taxes, bad on Ukraine. Should have never happened. And boy, are they bad on getting out. We were all set to get out of Afghanistan with dignity and strength. Remember that disaster? You know, without that, you might not have seen Ukraine, because I think Putin was watching and he said, man, these people are incompetent. The only thing they're good at, frankly, is cheating on elections. They're experts at that. You could take the 5 worst presidents in American history and put them together, and they would not have done the damage Joe Biden has done in just 15 months. In just over a year, he has managed to kill, literally kill, the American dream. But do not lose hope, because with the right leadership, America will be back greater, stronger, and more powerful than ever before. Joe Biden's been one train wreck after another. Just take a look at what he's doing out at NATO. These people. These people don't believe our representative. He disgraced our nation with his humiliating surrender in Afghanistan. Inflation is now, as you know, just reported, highest in over 40 years. Gas prices are the highest in history. Think of that. And we had them below $2 a gallon. Think of that. And now it's going up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How high can you count? Our borders are completely demolished. Bloodthirsty criminals are laying waste to our Democrat-run cities. There were more COVID deaths in 2021 than there were in 2020 with all the work we did, too. Who would have believed that? And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, Joe Biden totally failed to deter Russia's disgraceful invasion of Ukraine. All those people are dead. Putin's heinous attack on a proud and sovereign nation shocks the conscience of every person of goodwill, shocks the conscience of the people of Georgia, I can tell you, where we spent a fortune on your vets and we spent a fortune on rebuilding your military. Right here, what a job we did. The invasion of Ukraine should never have happened. And as everyone is saying, if I was in the White House, and they've had actually, I remember Sleepy Eyes Chuck Todd. Did you ever hear of him? He's a sleepy son of a bitch, and he's on. He's on a show called Meet the Fake Press. You have that, you have Deface the Nation, you have all these shows. But he said, how come, he was talking to Blinken, and he said, so how come this never happened on Trump's watch? Why didn't it happen? He said they knew better. They did know better. They know better. By the way, do you mind if I put on a hat? It's windy as hell up here.
Oh, let's go.
Thank you. Hey.
When shit is crazy and how this community brings me a little bit of
They
solace,
said, you and know, they
slowly
said to
thanks
me,
sending hats.
sir, it's windy as hell. You better put on a hat. You get blown to pieces. I said, I can handle it. And then the wind just doubled. I said, I've had it. I'm putting on it. But it would have never happened in Ukraine. It would have never happened, 100% certain. And remember, I was the one, you know, when you look at what happened to those tanks, man, were they devastated. But I was the one that sent the javelins, not Obama. Obama sent blankets, you remember? They said he only sends blankets and pillows. In fact, I stand as the only president of the 21st century on whose watch Russia and
Why are they getting so turned up
did
over
not
him putting his hat on? Because they're fucking
other
idiots. What do you
country. He
mean?
never invaded. And also
They're
during my
hogs.
4 years, China never invaded Taiwan. Remember they said, oh, China's going to invade Taiwan. That never happened. I said, President Xi, you're not going to do that. But that'll be next because he sees what happened and he sees the weak leadership that we have. And that very well might be, although, you know, if you really think about it, he may be looking at this disaster going on with Russia. He may say, maybe we have other ways to spend our time. So you never know. But I would say that it's a very good possibility that he will invade Taiwan because he doesn't respect the United States of America any longer. And he had a lot of respect for us a year and a half ago. Under our administration, we had a slogan. It was called Peace Through Strength. And that's what it was. It was peace through strength. And we were respected as a country like never before. And I say like never before. Our country was safe and the world was calm because America was strong. And America was perceived to be strong. I rebuilt our entire military. $2.5 trillion I spent. And I redid our nuclear power. And I hate to even mention it, and I hate having to do it. But we have the greatest nuclear power right now in the world, far greater than any other country. That's because we had weapons that were 47 years old. They were so old, nobody even knew if they worked. And now we have a very powerful nuclear power again, and that's because we rebuilt our entire military, and all because you had a president who always put America first. And you remember this. The fake news media said my personality would get us into war. But actually, as it turned out, it was my personality that kept us the hell out of war.
4 months of pretty good content. Usually tune into TYT.
And has been accurately reported, I was the only president in 4 decades who did not get America into any new conflicts. Instead, I brought our troops back home from Syria, Iraq, Somalia, and many other places, and would have done it very quickly from Afghanistan. We were all set. And you know, we didn't lose one soldier in Afghanistan for 18 months. I spoke to Abdul, the leader of the Taliban. I said, Abdul, don't do it, Abdul. And the fake news said, oh, you're speaking to the Taliban. Who the hell else am I supposed to speak to? And I said, don't do it, Abdul. Don't do it, Abdul, please. And you do it, Abdul, you're going to get hit harder than any country's ever been hit. And for 18 months, think of this, for 18 months, we didn't have one American soldier even shot at. And then we had that disastrous surrender in Afghanistan. And when I was talking to Abdul, he said, but why, Your Excellency? He called me Your Excellency. Can you believe it? I wonder if he calls Biden Your Excellency. Well, Biden won't talk to him. Biden doesn't have enough time in the day to talk to him. He's the head of the tower. Biden gave him $85 billion worth of equipment. They should like Biden a lot. But I remember when Abdul said, but why, Your Excellency, do you send me a picture of my house? I said, Abdul, you'll have to figure that one out for yourself. If Joe Biden were serious about helping Ukraine and defending America, the first thing he would do is walk into the White House its briefing room, its beautiful briefing room, and announced that he is immediately and completely returning to the pro-American energy policies of a person named Donald J. Trump, your president. That's one of the very easy ways of fighting it. You have to drive down energy prices because energy is so expensive today. A gallon, you take a look at
that beautiful
your,
man guy.
forget about it, the pump. You take a look at a barrel now, it'll be $2. It could be, people are saying it's going to go up to, think of this. People are saying per barrel, this is going over $100, it's going over $150, it's going up to $200 and $250. So we're making these countries rich. Gas prices would plummet overnight if they did what I was doing. We were energy independent for the first time in the history of our country. And when I left office, our fuel prices were about as low as they've ever been.
I just want to point something out here, by the way. Like, I mean, I'm looking through the fucking quote tweets of this because I'm a dumbass, but like, it okay? Basic reading comprehension. It's good job that Hasan is handsome. Just a little bit of fucking, objectification, basic stuff. Such a man baby, can't take the L, can't take criticism.
Hassle.
That isn't at all what he said. He literally said that. You just are too stupid to read, okay? Every time I think he can't get dumber, he pulls more retarded takes out of his ass. Is a genuine talent to be stupid, not gonna lie. You have taken the L over L for the past few months. You really think you're right about this one? Just read it. You're not a leftist. Just fucking read it. Just read the quotes, okay? It's his words. Just read it. But it doesn't matter because no one, and I mean no one fucking does this. They can't. It's just like, oh, you're trending. Oh, you're fucking, I hate you. So I'm just gonna literally assume that you're a dumbass over and over again. I'm going to repeat that you're a dumbass over and over again. Average Turkish reading comprehension. I did not expect that much from this Anatolian baboon, but Jesus Christ, you are genuinely scum. I do hope nuclear holocaust happens sometimes, okay? Just, put the no-fly zone over Ukraine. Let's happen. Let's let it happen, dude, because I can't. I hate living on a planet with people like this that just have a say, okay? Straight up. Fuck it, Bring it up. Just fly the nukes up. Homie really said, don't go at Hasan because he's too dumb and emotional to understand the conflict. And then when I repeat the fucking, repeat the takes, it's like, nope, you don't deserve your platform, says Fembury Merc. Every time anything happens, yeah, I just can't sub or follow him anymore. I was just going to let the dumb Ukraine shit blow over to go back. But this attitude towards any perceived criticism won't get any better. Adam Something is literally a better leftist in every way than Hasan is. So here's the thing. Okay? Here's the problem. Here's the issue. None of these people have read anything. They didn't read the tweet that I put up. They did not read the fucking the Adam Something comments. They are just simply like actual cackling hyenas, just going to the quote retweets immediately to be like, dude, you suck. And it sucks. It's just like, it's all just team sports. It's all just team sports. Over and over and over and over and over again. Like NPCs. To sum up, Putin will threaten with nukes, but it's unlikely he will actually use them. Even if he does, though, the world won't end. Plus, your chances of survival aren't bad if the bomb wasn't dropped directly on you and you can stick it in a basement for 3 days. Like, this person literally thinks that this is a good take. They actually think this is a good take. You're such an idiot, dude. I mean, you're going to die in a nuclear war if it happens. And honestly, hey, I'm swear Hasan is such a dipshit. Isn't this dude banned? Nuclear war absolutely wouldn't kill everyone. Just go live in your go live in your basement and eat canned peaches for a few years. And before you know it, we'll be back to plowing fields and planting crops with a few remaining fertile patches of land in no time.
Chatting, but Hasan, you just can't take criticism.
There's no shot this is like a real account, right? QRTing to make you know that normal people understand what you're saying, and it's just weird internet loser saying I'm smarter than everyone else attitude. You go, bro. Oh, now you guys are doing it. One, that's not what he's saying. Also, that's it kind of exactly the lack of nuance he's talking about. 2 billions will die. Doesn't feel like he's downplaying anything. Doesn't feel like he's downplaying anything.
Hey chat, how are you? I just came home.
Literally says
Did
a
I miss
nuclear
something to
war
make
right
you
now would not
smile?
be the end of humanity. Sure, it would suck. And I mean a lot of people dying, at least 1 billion plus. And I don't know how to save these people. I don't. It's already there is now a very solid bread tuber community of people who think they're leftists or they're like sock dem or they claim that they're sock dems or whatever that straight up are just like they've lost their fucking minds, it feels like.
12 months of being a certified freak has flex.
And there's nothing I can do about it. And it hurts my fucking soul. They're in here right now. If you're in here, I truly want you to just for like a brief moment try to see this with just a fraction of charitability that you once probably had. Okay? Because if you're at this stage looking at someone being like, nuclear holocaust would be fucking sick, or not sick, but like, oh man, nuclear holocaust wouldn't be that bad.
In response to the
That's
text,
actually a good take, you
it's just
fucking
their egos,
idiot. How do
man.
you not understand
It's
it?
human. Just
Or,
remember to find
yeah,
yourself and stay
actually,
and
you
continue
lack the
doing what
nuance
you're
of
doing.
understanding
In
why
that
we
you
have to
can
arm
see
the
your intention
Nazis.
change and grow,
I don't know what to
and
tell
that
you.
makes it all
Like, it's just,
worthwhile.
you've
We
lost
appreciate
it.
you.
None of this, of course, justifies Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which is unjustifiable and violent. But you literally think you are looking at this from a nuanced point of view. And that's incredibly fucking sad. Like this. So many of these fucking dumbasses, dude. Hashtag left is best. Like this motherfucker has a congressional baseball fan joke. Like he's such a edgy DSA leftist, Vinny, with his little fucking rose, okay? And then he turns around. Like he's making jokes about fucking a congressperson getting shot in the ass, right? And he's got his little DSA rose on his fucking profile. How did this dude get to the point where, while having like his little DSA rose and making these sorts of fucking jokes and probably listening to Chapo all the fucking time, how did he go from that guy, okay, to Hasan is such a disingenuous crybaby? You don't have the emotional maturity to deal with being rightly criticized or even understand the conflicts you're commenting on. Then you should just stick to Ben Shapiro dunking videos. Like 90 anti-Chapos in it. No, I love Chapo, but these guys are too stupid to recognize that like the people that they probably love or the people that they learned what leftism is about, which you shouldn't learn from podcasters and Twitch streamers, goddamn, because this is what happens when you do that. Like those people just become these like fucking weirdos. Hasan answered legit criticism challenge, literally impossible. Like, I did answer the legitimate criticism. I think these people just want me to say like, no, actually, you're right. It's totally fine and good. And there will never be blowback or arming right-wing paramilitaries and legitimizing them and defending them in the media in the West. There will never be blowback for that. Just wait for 20 more years and then you can act like, oh yeah, this was really fucked up. Also, Motherfuckers say legitimate criticism over and over again, and it's literally just him saying I'm a dumbass. Like, it's this guy saying I lack the mental fortitude to understand why it's actually totally reasonable to arm the Nazis and give them credence and give them legitimacy and train them. And it fucking kills me, dude. It actually kills me. I don't know how to combat it. I don't know. It's just like, you're just insulting me, okay? And you're doing it in the dumbest way possible. And even when I show that it is stupid, these people don't understand it. It's not reading comprehension challenge, impossible difficulty. There's a reason why you don't take a person's single sentence, because what they're saying may have a certain framing. In the nuclear war part, it would be worse for Russia than the West to engage in it. He didn't say that. He didn't just say that either. The more you give attention to them, the more they go on. This is not good for you or anyone else, man. They won't stop. I know. But I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do here. Because, like, this has become my everyday existence. Where anytime I decide to push back, it doesn't matter. Okay? Anytime I defend a take or decide to like criticize someone else, their fucking stands literally light up my shit non-fucking stop. You said, just call me a Turkish cockroach, bro. And then that one the quote tweet said, okay, bet. Yeah, literally. It has gotten to a point where this is it. No matter what, these people who think they're leftists, and that's the worst part. If they were just like, I'm a neo-lib, I'm a shit lib, you know? I fucking love, I love markets. I love free markets. I'm a neocon. If they were honest about their point of view, then it's like, that's very easy to just be like, okay, well, they're fucking pathetic. They're insane. They're just, this corresponds to their worldview. I get it. But they're like, no, I'm a leftist. Like, I'm actually a socialist. And Hasan is fucking dumb for this take. And it pisses me off.
Hassle.
And it feels like I'm being effectively gaslit by thousands of people every day is not something that I can just take lightly.
The way I discovered your Twitch stream was through Ben Shapiro.
People think the market is rich for leftist creators, but it's only rich for people who claim to be leftists but just repeat MSNBC in edgier ways. I mean, that's a Glenn Greenwald take, but it's true. Holy fuck.
Rowdy Hasan, get them. I wish Kirby was a bread tuber.
Like, I'm right. I know I'm right. And I'm making the appropriate points, and it's just completely bouncing off of people. And it hurts my very soul. Because my entire point...
My pension pogo.
My entire goal is to be able to change people's minds. And I understand that human beings are hypocritical and all that, but I still try to maintain a level of consistency. And I think I do a pretty good job of maintaining said consistency. And no matter what happens, it's like there are people that are always just going to have this point of view. They're just never going to listen to what I have to say. And it sucks.
Love you, Habibi. Less than 3.
Like, this idea that the proper leftist position in this situation is to totally justify the American actions is insane. That's not the proper leftist position. Just don't say you're a leftist. And I'm fine with that. Like, if these people are not, and I don't think they are, I'm totally fine with that. You know what I mean? It makes it so much more understandable. Just say what you are. You're not a liberal. You're not even a liberal half the fucking time. Some of you are just straight conservative. This is why we're in the shitty situation in America. Even our leftists have this fucking brain rot. Honestly, there aren't even, it doesn't even matter ultimately because the American government is going to do whatever the fuck it wants to regardless, right? Like, it's just wild that, I don't know. We're just fighting one another and we have nothing going on. And I don't even think half of these people are just legitimately intellectually consistent. But they can't brainwash young leftists into pro-imperialist talking points if they don't claim to be radical. It just doesn't make sense how many people just have no way of approaching the subject with any kind of nuance. And the other like liberals can turn around and just be like, yeah, no, I'm the one who has a nuanced opinion, actually. The nuance is deserved when we're talking about arming Nazis and training them and funding them and legitimizing them. Nuance is completely unnecessary when it comes to talking about how that is going to have really negative consequences, as it has time and time again. You're the only political streamer who doesn't have sub-only chat. It's really weird to watch other streams where everyone agrees on the same topics. Yeah, I mean...
As high.
I mean, listen, that's... I can't speak for other political streamers. I don't know what they do, but... It isn't your job to change their minds. It's your job to bring awareness to facts and let people decide for themselves if they want to change. I mean, I would hope that they would be... I would hope that they would be a little bit more fucking nuanced in this situation. I would hope that they'd be a little bit more open-minded. You know? You are never going to make everyone agree with you. I'm not even looking to make people agree with me. Not everyone, at least. I am assuming that people that used to agree with me and have agreed with me thus far would understand where I'm coming from when I say something. I would assume that there's going to be a level of charitability to the things I speak of, especially if you've been watching me for fucking 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, and you found all these other content creators because I hyped them up. That's what frustrates me, is that, that's what frustrates me, because like these are people that I like, or I have liked their works in the past. You know what I mean?
Ripping fat cones for Ukraine.
And it is really strange to see so many people who are like, I found him after you, but like now I hate you because this guy that I found after you told me you're fucking stupid. And it makes sense now. want them to be more open-minded, but they're acting in bad faith because you've pissed them off for one reason or another. So then it's a personal grievance. It becomes less about the politics and more about the mouthpiece. Yeah.
Type kek if you are chatting into the void.
If you've been watching me for many, many years, if you've been watching me since like the TYT days, you know that most of my fucking takes, like if not all of my takes, have been pretty goddamn consistent. And then you have people who are like, I used to be a fucking Nazi and I'm no longer a Nazi, but also like you're fucking wrong and you're brain dead and you're stupid. Dog, you're using Sargon of Akkad talking points like in a conversation about defending Nazis. You know what I mean? Maybe it's time for you to exercise a little bit of reflection, you know? Just do some self-reflection.
16 months. It's ridiculous that people are looking at your take poorly. Keep at it, Arjan.
And there was a point in time when I could have potentially had a conversation with Adam something, but like not after that fucking absolutely baboon take that he put out there about me being too stupid to understand the nuance of arming Nazis, or being too stupid to understand the nuance of fucking, you know, nuclear fallout not killing everybody. Like, don't worry, only 1 billion people will die. And then people say it's like totally fucking total condescending bullshit is like nuanced criticism. I don't agree with those attacking you, but I think a big part of you was you were not charitable with people who thought Russia would invade. You apologize and they should accept it, but they can't get past it. Yeah, I mean, I apologize for fucking saying I was wrong. I mean, I apologize for being wrong about Russia's invasion. I probably should have never done that, you know? What the fuck? Holy shit. Anyway, it's it's very strange, but again, I think a lot of people just, none of those quote retweets have ever agreed with you. You're being too charitable and the bad faith people. But like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I wanna be able to change those people's minds too. The people that disagree with me, I want to change their minds. But like, how will I change the mind of someone who just says this? Like, you are such a Joshua Griffin, Josh 20 left. You are such a dishonest piece of shit, Lamau. 23, mostly replies and retweets. Market/democratic socialist. Social democracy is also kind of cool. Gravel Institute, good or bad? How the fuck is Henry Kissinger still alive, Lamau? Why do you hate Henry Kissinger so much? You know? I don't understand. Like, if I'm a dishonest piece of shit, Henry Kissinger loved arming fucking reactionary forces, you know? That was kind of his thing. Why do you hate him? If you love him, if you love what he would have done here. Like that, do you see what I mean? Do you understand what I mean? Do you get it? Like a person who's like excited for the demise of Henry Kissinger, which is an understandable position to have, having this take about where I stand on this issue. And then retweeting Vaush talking about a Republican Governor Governor W. Agreed. That was great. So like we agree on the trans thing, okay? So what is it? Like what is up with this dude? I need to understand, like, because something does not make sense. He just tweeted he's reading my tweets, get fucked. He's a little troll. Is that what it is? It's just like people are exclusively doing it so they can get like a crumb of attention. Is that what it is? I need to understand it. One day you will understand that Vaush fans are not on your side. I get it, but like they were my fans first and then they became Vaush fans. You know what I mean? Like what community did Vaush come out of? Yeah, Destiny's community, but also like I hyped them up when he was fucking Irish laddie as well. You know what I mean? So a lot of those motherfuckers came from here. Okay? So what's up? How did that happen? That's the thing. Like, how? How do you get to a point where you're like, I agree with literally everything you say, but I just think you're bad? Personally, I agree with everything you say, but I just personally think you're bad.
Did you already open your boxes?
No, I did not. It's not correct to say you don't share any fans with him. There's a lot of crossover. Of course, dude. Of course. Of course there's a lot of crossover. I get it. You stop being punk rock once you got
thank you for all the news coverage
once you got successful, because this is what being a stan is about. Unconditional support, that's it. Yeah, but like Vaush makes a lot of money too. What's up?
Sup.
I think part of the problem is that you're a bit socially isolated on the political commentary side. You collaborate with Twitch streamers, but rarely collaborate on the political commentary side. I think that would help you fight a bit, help you a bit with fighting back against this shit. Yeah, but I don't like the culture in the political debate side. I hate it. I despise it. So, that's the reason why I don't fucking do that, because the entire like debate space is horrible. I hate it. I mean, it's good for some people. Some people like it, and that's great for them. If they enjoy it, then good on them, you know? I will never be able to change their minds regardless. But it's wild when, you know, the debate side is like debating all the most like dumbass normal everyday things that happen to me is like a matter of debate. It's toxic as fuck, even when I don't participate on it. And I don't participate on it because it's so fucking toxic. And like half the time, it's literally like, is Hasan a bad leftist because he bought a house? Is Hasan bad leftist because he bought a car? Is Hasan a bad leftist because he like loves Russia and Vladimir Putin and hates Ukraine and wants to kill Ukrainians? Like, you just made that up. Like, how is that a debate topic? I see it. I see it when these motherfuckers with like, you know, 300 followers are like getting together and having like weirdo debates over and over again. And it's like almost entirely directed by, you know, a certain community specifically crafting all this shit. And then it has staying power. It's fucking crazy.
6 months brain rot. Love it has.
It just has like a lot of staying power. The Crackergate controversy. People saying I should quit politics. Yeah. It's weird, man. And I think at this point it's getting to a point because like I don't push back ever when people do this sort of stuff. I never push back. I personally try to never ever fucking bring this shit up usually. And like LSF was one way that we could LSF was one way that I had these conversations. But now that everybody knows, like, you can just fucking rail on me and do whatever the fuck you want and say whatever the fuck you want. And there's like at least a community of people that will jump in and get on board, and you will see a big boost, at least in the immediate like first week that you do that. People are like, oh, this is a good way to cultivate a following. And then they do this. And I think part of it is because like I just don't ever respond. You know what I mean? I just never respond to it. So now we are past the original disagreements. Now they're saying how Adam roasted you. It's so dumb, Lamau. Yeah, it's like people will actually jump on very strange thing. People will actually jump on really bad, not even criticisms, just shit talking because they're just like, I don't like you. You know what I mean? Someone could just be like, I don't like Hasan. Fuck that guy. And people are like, based. Fucking based. Awesome. You know what I mean? A big gripe in those spaces is that you don't do anything to lift up people in the Twitch politics space. I don't know. It just seems like they want clout and content. I mean, yeah, I guess. Some people just don't like your presentation, the way you approach certain topics, your personality, or as debate bro as it sounds, the way you arrive at certain topics. It's just inevitable. But I will say, some people just hate you on a fundamental level that is furthered by certain people making petty, spiteful arguments against you just because it's you. They don't like you because you make fun of. Three-hour response to Nazi apologia, 2 paragraphs, your dumb rebuttal. Wow, he roasted you. I mean, yeah, but I'm beyond the rebuttal of someone being like, dude, you're just too stupid to understand nuance of like arming Nazis, right? I'm beyond that. Now I'm talking about people who are like, I'm a leftist. Like, I love being a radical leftist. Right? I'm a radical leftist, but like, dude, you just got fucking dumpstered, dude. Remember the money influenced the CDC drama? Yeah, that was another one. That was crazy. People literally were acting like the CDC was not making this decision of lowering the quarantine. Yeah, that was a crazy one. Dude, I've had so many of those. People were literally saying that the CDC is uninfluenced by the interest of the business, interest of the Chamber of Commerce. Yo, by the way, that fucking weirdo, the market socialist or whatever, he's still going. This is what I mean. I was right. You know, I genuinely hope that people who used to watch Hasan like me realize how incredibly irresponsible and dumb he is with his platform. I need to understand, like, ContraPoints, Loanerbox, Roseworth, I don't know who those people are, but I know Contra. People who put thought and time into what they say and do and don't parrot whatever ideology is popular. Like, I need to understand this, dude. I mean, maybe it's a little obsessive, but, like, I need to understand how someone is like, I'm a market socialist who hates Henry Kissinger, and I'm just gonna fucking, I'm like, I hate you now. I used to watch you a lot and I loved you, but now I hate you. You don't have any opinions. You don't have like any values. You just watched the last YouTube essayist you watched, and you're regurgitating their talking points, I think. You literally think it's good optics to hate you? That's the only reason? I just don't get it. There's literally a bang gray name getting one-on-one time in front of 26K people. I wish I could understand it, though. Like, I wish I could understand. You didn't read their takes, or you destroy the one chat you ever read. Because I didn't change. My points didn't change. My point of view didn't change. So something changed. What is it? Is it because, like, you want to be a hipster? And, like, I'm too popular now? Is that what it is? What happened? Loanerbox is a Scottish leftist and he makes pretty good videos. I don't know why people would agree with him and not you. I mean, I don't know who he is, but I know ContraPoints agrees with me on a lot of shit, so I don't know what that means, but Loanerbox follows me. You know? So, like, that's the other thing, which is, like, people also love being like, I outgrew you, but they didn't. That's the point. Like, people love saying, I outgrew you and shit, but it's like, dog, where did you grow to? Where'd you go, bro? What are you, like a fucking Maoist third worldist now? Like, where did you outgrow me to? Also, you're still 5'5". Exactly, Michael, you're right. Did a no growth, motherfucker. What happened? There's no winning here. This will just turn into Hasan's communities attacking me. I'm mod for Seer, and I was talking to someone in VC. I brought you up, and he literally hates you because you banned him for trolling one time. It was incredibly hilarious. I think that might be the reason. I think I banned too many people. Maybe that's it. The point is, though, when motherfuckers don't like me and they move on and they watch someone else, that's great. Like, go watch someone else. But these motherfuckers stay in here. They're like, my old fans that are now my haters be like, I outgrew him, but I can't stop fucking watching him, and I can't stop saying how fucking stupid he is while simultaneously quite literally agreeing with every single thing he said. And also all the other content creators I hype up are literally fans of his or friends of his or like his takes, but I just hate him now. So that, to me, is like very weird. It's a very, very weird take. So when people say like, I outgrew you, I'm like, I guess you just think you're a lifestylist. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just aesthetics for you. So now you're just like, yeah, fuck you. One day I will get it. And I look at this stuff a lot. I try to understand it. I try to get where they're coming from. Especially because, like, what leads someone to sit here for hours and hours and hours? And it does hurt my feelings, for sure. Of course it hurts my feelings. You know what doesn't hurt my feelings? When a fucking Republican or a reactionary conservative is like, fuck this guy. He is an America hater. I'm like, of course you're going to think that. And also, you're not wrong, right? But when someone who's like, I'm a sock them. You know what I mean? I'm a sock them. I'm a socialist. I hate Henry Kissinger. When someone like that is like, I fucking hate Hasan. He's such an irresponsible platformer. He's so bad. He's so transphobic. He's so racist. Racist against white people. He's racist against black people. Like, how? Where did this come from? Like, how? I want to sit down and like have a conversation with someone who has this take, because I legitimately want to understand what the fuck is churning up there.
I got banned yesterday, and I'm sorry.
It hurts your feelings. Mission accomplished. No, I'm just saying. No, I haven't run any ads for the past like couple hours. Okay, I'm just not going to.
Did we all know the real reason these people are mad at you now is that you keep banging their moms mercilessly?
Like, this shit is deranged as a poop sock. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I fucking knew it's a poop sock. I clicked on it and I knew there was a poop sock coming. Take a week off. They've created an imaginary version of you that is constructed out of the many, many Twitter posts they've seen smearing you. It's a non-reality version of you. But I'm live all the time. It's like virtually impossible not to hear what my actual position is.
10 months sub, I'm so glad I've found this.
And what's also crazy about it is that, like, not only am I live all the time, right? I have many, many videos on the subjects that I cover, and they're all out there. But people will come in here and literally be like, I know he's talking like he's anti-Putin, but I know that's a secret. I know he secretly, deep down inside, loves Putin. Only a Putin lover would say he hates Putin so much. You know what I mean?
There's an entire community built around hating you in the hippy-dippy debate streams and such on both left, right, and Propeller D, influencing their opinions.
Yeah, but that community is fucking tiny. I guess they just can't shut the fuck up, though. And that's where it comes from.
For this investment, I'ma need some work on your camera and lighting.
I mean, a lot of kids on chat have not even sure their own ideologies. They're just following trends of what is popular. Yeah, I think so too. But it's like, it just sucks, man. I've been doing this for 10 fucking years. You know what I mean? It sucks. It sucks when I do this for 10 years and then, like, there's still people who are functionally, like, now the left is growing, right? On the internet, the left is growing. And there's still people in that, like, growing left who are just like, yeah, you fucking suck. Like, bro, how? How? I've been doing this shit when most of the people that now despise me again, but from the left, were literally fucking alt-right. You know what I mean? I was getting ass blasted by the same motherfuckers when they were Nazis, and then they became like liberals, and then they started ass blasting me again. They were like a leftist for a week, and then they became liberals again, and now they're back to the same exact criticisms, like, oh, he's too hot. He's such a dumb, hot guy. He's so dumb and hot. Like, okay. I mean, I heard that a lot from the Nazis too. I heard that a lot when you were a Nazi, probably, when you also had that opinion.
4 months still waiting on that brain rot, but I did meet my BF here, so I love you. I love this community. US bad.
It just doesn't make sense. How do you go into someone's, how do you have such level of, like, uncharitability? How do you have such level of uncharitability when you're like, come in here to just be like, even if you're saying something, even if you're saying something that does not correspond to my personal biases, I'm going to act like you're still saying the thing that is, you know, corresponding to my personal biases. I saw a TikTok comment yesterday saying you're anti-black. I'm a 32-year-old black woman. My ass would not be in here if that were the case. Keg W. Yeah.
Every day Hasan streams.
I have unfollowed you a few times whenever your opinion or view was ignorant, which was actually never about politics. That's how I balance it. Yet I can admit and accept you are definitely educated about politics, even when I do not agree with you. Basic human skills, I would think. You are to leftist Twitter what J Schlatt is the Dream SMP Twitter. They get annoyed at how you gloss over points of view on a topic at times or dismissively insult people based on an out-of-context clip. Basically catching strays. Centrists and conservatives develop grudges about you in similar ways. It's inevitable when you do a comedic, fast-paced politics. Draconic is like one of the most interesting chatters I have. But this is a really good take, I think. This is like a hater who's been in here for a very long time. Maybe not fully a hater anymore, but... For a more individualistic analysis of the situation, I would say that it's also possible that these people went back to being liberal and having a positive view of American imperialism because otherwise they would also have lumped in with the bad guys or whatever the fuck. Yeah, maybe it's because Joe Brandon is president now. You know what I mean? I get that. That could be it.
Nine whole months smile.
Like, they look at the America deserved 9/11 guy who they're like, oh, that's so base when you say that. And then they're like, wow, Hasan's analysis only revolves around America bad. What the fuck? What did you think? Like, the American government is good when you think I meant American government good when I was talking about 9/11? The fuck do you mean? Was so pro-Ukraine and turned him anti-Hasan? Who? Maybe a big part of it is after Biden was president and other leftists were hating on the bad shit he did, they go back to being liberal because better of two evils. Converted me as a right-wing veteran to a socialist in the 2 years I've been watching you. I appreciate you to no end. Fuck yeah, dude. Anyway. It's weird because, like I said, that motherfucker said nuclear war bad. However, only 1 billion people would die and people are mad at me. Yeah, I mean, that's analysis. That's astute and incredibly concise, very smart analysis. I think you're discounting your success in the broader left. Libs are moving to take the left ground on race and some economics, but aren't there on foreign policy, and Ukraine just showed that divide clearly. What? Yeah, I mean, yes, liberals are still very much pro-imperialist and like, and get sucked into the propaganda and like unironically think that, you know, America is helping Ukraine because they care about the Ukrainian lives, for sure. Which I think is a silly mistake to think that. I think it also feels cathartic for a lot of people to no longer be like, oh, America is not the main villain in this story, just a villain. And I guess like having, you know, and anyone that brings that up, or they don't even want America to be seen as a villain in the story. They're like, no, it's good. It's good that America's doing everything that they're doing. Guy is up his own ass that much that he thinks he can have a good announcement on topic he hardly knows anything about. What are you talking about? There's a lot of stuff on YouTube criticizing you, so I checked you out after watching it. Not gonna lie, I was positively surprised. So a lot of people just have a curved view on you because of all that random negativity. Someone who's literally followed you since TYT, I have at times taken breaks from you because of my parasocial addicts gets frustrated at the take you have or the way you act at chat or how chat acts at you.
But putting in the hours.
And maybe these politics standards are 1, mentally or physically children, and 2, unable to understand their feelings, so they rationalize them through some BS moral framework. It's all I can think about to account for the inconsistency. Yeah. Why you don't do debates? Debates are incredibly toxic, and the secondary consequence of debates are really, really fucked up. Like, if you get wrapped up in any of those like bad communities, especially one that's like really, really fucking active, you know which community I'm talking about. They'll dox you. They'll straight up dox you. They'll fucking make fun of you for being on Kiwi farms when your entire family is getting fucking phone calls nonstop. They'll literally laugh about like psychotic fucking Nazis on the internet doxing your whole family, and they'll enjoy it. They'll celebrate it. You know what I'm talking about. Especially harder if you're a trans content creator too. So you already have like you're already vulnerable, you're already more marginalized too. And while I'd like to think this many of your peers openly disagreeing with you would make you self-reflective, not just feel victimized, look inwards. My friend, I look inwards every day, like all the time. And also, these aren't my peers. These are random people. Are you sick of talking about racism yet? Do you ever feel guilty contributing to the partisan hellscape tearing your country apart? Wow. Love how the Pokey defenders won't mention why Gideon doesn't like her, aka the N-word video. Doesn't seem like you care about racism. How do you feel about everyone shutting up about racism for 2022? It almost seems like you're using race just simply as a talking point. You know we can see all of your takes, right? And these aren't my peers openly disagreeing with me. These are people who normally did agree with me and now just fucking absolutely disagree with me. The average centrist, dude. I feel like the reason the hate watchers come after you the way they do and won't ever watch you in good faith is because they have their perceived bias already ingrained into them. Hence, no matter how many times you explain your point of view, they will still have that picture built in their head of how you are. I used to be that guy until I began watching your streams and realized you aren't just the 9/11 guy. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to fucking reach out to these people. I don't know how. Like, there are a lot of people who come in here originally as haters, right? And there are stories of conversion. Stories of people being like, okay, I don't fucking despise this person anymore. I guess I was wrong about the way I felt about him. How do we get there? Like, how do we get there? How do we get there when there are echo chambers that literally thrive on just shitting on me? And by the way, Vaush's community absolutely has become that as well, for the record. Straight up. Like, I mean, dude, look at this. 1,000 upvotes, dude. Adam Something's response to HasanAbi, 1,000 upvotes. This is supposedly leftist stream, dude. Leftist streamer, leftist community. The Virgin America bad versus Hasan the Giga Chat America isn't the center of the world, Adam something. Like, this is where these motherfuckers are coming from, okay? This. What is this? Don't miss. He's being nice here because Europe really isn't that fucking complex. I mean, come on, dude. 1,000 upvotes in fucking 5 hours? Based response? That's what we're doing now? This is what's going on? I mean, it's not that complex. I know where it's coming from. I know exactly where this fucking shit's coming from. And I know who's doing it. I used to watch Hasan every day. I stopped watching him once the Ukraine stuff went down. How could someone be so blind? He Chappelled himself, going out of pocket for something out of his depth. You can watch Hasan's coverage of the last Israel-Palestine situation and see that's something he actually knows about versus the Azov State Department NATO bad Ukraine takes. Actually, I can't even watch that because he shows his hypocrisy even more. He believes in BDS for Israel, but thinks it's barbaric against Russia. He thinks we shouldn't give things to Ukraine because they end up with Azov, but it's crazy to say that the aid will be given to Hamas. First of all, the aid is not just going to Azov. We're not giving guns to Hamas. Like, it's crazy. You don't platform their toxicity, they propagate the hate and allow for it to fester and rot. I mean, that's crazy. He confidently supports the wrong side in both conflicts. So this guy is, of course, a supporter of Israel and Azov? Like, what's going on? Is that what's happening? Hasan is reacting to the video right now, and of course his arguments are trash. To be fair, Adam Something's take on nuclear war is dog shit. And his excuse for allowing racism, sexism, and I'm assuming transphobia is allowed to go well on his Discord is dumb as fuck. Now, the above mentioned shouldn't steer people away from Adam. What I'm trying to say is, bad takes should not, everyone has bad takes. Hasan already owned up to the Ukraine invasion take. What Adam is still allowing those stuff to go on in his community, and he was an alt-right person before. Just a few moments ago, he basically said that Russian imperialism is better than American imperialism. I'm having a hard time finding the words to express this contempt. That's not what I said. I said that American imperialism is more damaging than Russian imperialism because Russia doesn't have the power that America can do. Russia does not have the fraction of the power that America can engage in on a daily basis. So that, for example, that in and of itself, that's a perfect example of someone just going, whiffing it, just did not understand anything I said there. Did not understand anything I said there at all. He thought I meant actually Russian imperialism good, okay? I did not say that. Russian imperialism is, of course, bad. Imperialism is bad. I'm an anti-imperialist. Russia does not have the fraction of the power that America has to conduct the same level of imperial operations. And not only that, but also if they did, they could maybe be worse than America. But as it stands, they are not. Because they don't have the capacity to. But hey, that's it. 21 people were like, that's the take. I love that. He started calling Adam a Nazi, not even an apologist, a flat-out Nazi when he saw the post law. Then I got banned from his chat for asking clarification. Oh, well, Hasan's Ukraine takes have made me less interested in watching anyway. Suck my dick. He didn't come out of nowhere. I hyped him up. You fucking idiots. Holy shit, the takedown wasn't really a takedown, but he sure felt like one. Adam is really a smart dude and essentially good at articulating thoughts in a concise manner. Man, I'm happy I found him. That's not even a takedown.
Bad.
This might be the most thorough destruction by words I've ever seen, dude. These are such Marvel fan base, soy-facing bugmen. I've never read comments like this in my entire life. They are so like, based. What a thorough takedown. My good sir. Epic bacon. Gives him no insight into Soviet history. Adam Something's insight into Soviet history is Russia always bad, USSR bad, pretty standard liberal.
I am sorry, like I am seriously so sorry to all chatters and everyone and being stupid. I know don't shit about it, I should have shut up. Please forgive me Hasan and chat.
It's crazy to me, man. It's crazy that, oh wow, Soviets are colonies now. Way to go, great insight from yourself too. This goes hard. The best analysis and roast of Hasan I've ever seen. I'm sorry to all my American comrades, but he kind of has a point about some American lefties being very narrow-minded and only seeing the world through an American lens. Don't be. This lesson has been a very, very long time coming for us. The American left's response to this whole crisis has been abysmal. Yeah. Actually, what the American left's response to this crisis should have been, we love America. America's doing a great job. Please give more Javelin missiles and train more fucking Nazis, actually. Awesome. These are leftists, man. These are leftists. This is the American left. The American left is currently running defense for literally fucking Azov Nazis and attacking a content creator on the left who literally despises Russia's actions in Ukraine. But it's over. I am, in their eyes, I'm like straight up a fucking pro-Russia guy. Pro-imperialism, pro-Russia, love Russia so much. They will never not see that. I could go to fucking Ukraine and pick up arms and fight and defend it, and they still be like, you didn't fight hard enough. Do they think that like America is like a little baby tiger in the corner, like a little baby pussycat or something? Because V made many videos slandering you out of ignorance too, I guess. I guess that's how it works. The intellectual giants, the titans. I'm definitely taking a day off, but I'm sick and tired of this. I'm not going to be live tomorrow. The second you had a bad take on Ukraine and V shit on you for it, his entire community took it as a green light to just shit on you relentlessly. They were never your supporters in the first place. They were just watching their daddy V to give them the green light to shit on you. Yeah, American left, not the progressive left. That's what I'm talking about. It's just like, it's disgusting. I despise it. None of this is literally a fucking list of burn centers in the United States. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is not a leftist community at all, for the record. I don't know. I really thought so. I reached out to Vaush earlier today. I was like, listen, dude, I see something going on that I don't like. I'm letting you know it's a fucking never-ending death spiral. It will turn out bad if you just like allow this kind of shit to foster. And he was like, he was literally like, yeah, no, fuck off. Like, these were legitimate criticisms. I was like, bro, they were literally clipping shit from my Twitter where I was criticizing Russia to make it seem like I was pro-Russia. How is that in any way, shape, or form fucking legitimate criticism? You know what I mean? Like, I still think he has like ideologically progressive values. I just don't think that this is anything but just people literally just saying, this is the fuck Hasan. If V Hasan's liked you, I'd be concerned that the Hasan isn't leftist enough. People were correct. V isn't and has never been a leftist. I mean, look, this is the thing. These people unironically are running around making it seem like being a leftist or being a socialist is about like, I don't know, the aesthetics of fucking someone writing a long post of being like, Hasan is too stupid to understand the complexities and nuances of arming Nazis, when even Vaush himself is not a fan or fond of the Azov Battalion and has made numerous jokes about the Azov Battalion people getting murdered. So even his community does not comprehend it. But I guess it doesn't matter because Vaush is like uncritically and unequivocally on the side of Ukraine. They don't see me as that. So when I say anything, it's like, you know, you officially made it on Twitter. Ampal moment. Crazy ass moments in American politics. Among Us with Ihonamar, Hasan, and Pokimane. Oh shit, look at that. I do like this account. They have some funny shit. It's so strange, too, because, like, Vaush constantly talks about Vaush derangement syndrome or whatever the fuck, and his community loves talking about that shit. Meanwhile, they literally have brain disease. Like, you know what I mean? This is like... Way to use your ethnicity as a shield when receiving criticism and play the victim, dude. Hasan won't retain any of it or learn anything. Seriously, as a longtime fan of his, it's so frustrating. Retain what? That I'm a fucking idiot who doesn't have the brain processing capabilities because I have too narrow of a worldview to understand the complexities of arming fucking Nazis, dude? That's crazy. What is the nuance there? How do they not see this? It's just a creative way to be like, this dude is a fucking dumbass, and 1,000 fucking upvotes and 165 comments of people being like, wow, what a brilliant and insightful analysis on the subject matter here. That's crazy. Let's see what happens since I fucking wrote. Hasan is currently rating this thread, Lamau. Oh, wow, I had no idea Vaush was quoting centrist these days. Gonna start to the left. What a pimp. Hasan's reading these comments for content. You fucking little narc bitch. Fucking hell, Adam, something is based. Throwing a lot of shade in a respectful manner.
15 years down the line, when we have the benefit of hindsight, I'm sure these people will be praising you as a savant for having basic political insight.
Oof. An American-brained Westoid. Look at this subreddit on, it's literally a satellite community of Destiny subreddit, 83% overlap. Yeah. For every one of these assholes, there's people like this. My first Hasan stream, I've learned a lot about leftist politics since then. This kind of thing works. In other words. Yeah. They're literally in here watching right now. No, I know. But what you guys also fail to recognize is that this kind of shit has staying power, okay? It's been a while since I've done this because, you know, I usually avoid it. I try not to look very hard because I always want to find, like, if there's legitimate criticism there or not. Because I do want to see constructive criticism. I do. I like constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is not like... Constructive criticism is not like fucking, you know, you're an idiot and you're too stupid to understand the nuances of, you know, how Ukraine does not have a history of nationalism or ultranationalism. Not that any of that matters currently in this present day. Because that's not going to stop Russia from bombing the shit out of Ukraine. And that's the other part of the problem, is that when you fucking engage with the Bay Lords, all of a sudden... it turns into specifically just a never-ending spiral of semantics and back and forth conversation around like a really minor part of the much, much larger problem. Hate threads are not constructive criticism, obviously.
I love you, but these people are fucked. Just chill, dude. You are watching the loud minority and there is really not much constructive criticism, just silly debate. Lords, just focus on the real problems.
And you were playing two different games. They just appeal to haters and to online people. You were supposed to reach out to more normal people. You can't be sucked into the debate bro trap ecosystem.
Gang.
Anyway, something I see a lot is people don't like the way you talk to them, the way you talk, and then don't actually listen for more than 2 minutes. Yeah.
Sorry about the effects on the community. I'm here to stay.
You need a bad take so you can have people constructively criticize you, and then you can show people you have criticism when it's valid. I mean, I think the intellectual humbleness that I needed to fucking actually demonstrate was when I was proven wrong in my analysis
Kirby looks very
that
fun.
Russia was not going to invade Ukraine, because I thought all of the things that Russia is experiencing currently would happen, and which I did, and I apologize for it. Not only that, but like, you know, I apologized for it for weeks on end, nonstop. And all of these people still turned around and still used that fucking tweet. They still constantly and consistently fucking, instead of saying, hey, you know, this guy is not like, clearly he's not a fucking like apologist or a Putin puppet or anything like that. I mean, he's literally showing not humbleness, humility, intellectual humility. You're right. My brain has stopped working. Instead of saying like, oh, he is actually an honest person, they were just like, no, I'm actually more angry at him now. And they're like still hard stuck. The clip industry doesn't help with the honest, lazy channel upload of your content without the editing and context. Most creators don't allow this because they know the importance of controlling their own image. Yeah. One of the posters of Adam Smith, just look at the overlapping. What is this? But they like the Majority Report. Like, Sam agrees with me. You know what I mean? That's what I don't understand. It's like, how the fuck do you like the Majority Report and Sam Cedar and then shit on me so aggressively? Doesn't this tweet contradict current ongoings? What? Oh, yeah, it is. It does. Yes.
If it wasn't Ukraine, it was gonna be something else, man. I think it's a fool's errand to solve the logic of these people. It's never going to be constructive when they benefit from shitting on you. Hasan, did you see that thread about you coping with the fact you have to serve the top of the hour ad break very soon?
They don't. They just like his epic takedown of Steven Crowder. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I know. It's always like, dude, you can never admit you're wrong. It's always people who are like, oh, dude, you can never admit you're wrong. It's like, well, even when I admitted I was wrong, it's like, I'm still not taking the L. Reddit freaks just hate you. It explains why they'll show up to the H3 subreddit and just spread dumb shit about you. Anywhere in Reddit where people talk about you, they'll show up. Yeah, I feel like people just like name search me on Reddit or something and then go wherever I am being mentioned. They hear it. They hear it, they see it, and they're like, anywhere that he's being mentioned, I got to do propaganda about how she sucks.
Ice error.
Anyway. Finding honest interpretations of politics, news, etc. is almost physically impossible outside of extremely small spaces. When someone this large recognizes an error in judgment, it should be commended as a positive aspect of their reporting. Everyone outside of your parasocial, dude. Everyone else, I see criticism, I enjoy it. Crazy how much you play victim, oof. Everyone outside your parasocial stream hates you, buddy. Dude, you literally have fucking picked up the talking patterns of your favorite streamer. Like, you're literally typing like him. That's so sad, man. Like, your username is September 11, 2001. Created a sock account to, like, write comments in here. And the comments that you write, you are literally fucking... You're trying to sound like your favorite streamer. You do not have an identity on your own. That's really sad, dude. That's incredibly sad. I feel terrible for you. I'm going to keep you alive. I'm not going to fucking ban you. Is he in the room right now? Yeah, I think
it could be
I think you know. I think a lot of us know exactly what that is, even though, you know, he is a tiny, irrelevant audience for the most part. which makes it even sadder that you're so pathetic, buddy. Like I've said before, being parasocial is one thing. Being parasocial is one thing, right? Or being a stan is one thing, but it is significantly fucking worse. It is significantly fucking worse that you are literally like a hate watcher. You're being parasocial, but you're also like hurting your brain every fucking day in every moment that you spend. I rarely agree with you, but I respect you because I understand where you're coming from and you actually believe the things you're saying. Most people on the left just spew the same shit, but you actually have takes that are different and not the talking points of the mainstream left. It's not criticism if you're just shitting on someone. Obviously, people aren't going to listen to you if all you're going to do is whatever everyone else does call you a shitty person and have nothing of substance to actually say. There's criticism to be made, of course, but people need to stop being so full of themselves and just say they want to shit on you.
Smile.
Yeah, I mean... Look, we spent a long fucking time today, and it was an interesting experience, but
I learned about this from David Lynch. There's this thing in the air that gets to people and causes them to dislike something without really knowing anything about it. It happened to Twin Peaks. Fire Walk With Me. He thinks it's the zeitgeist.
they have people find shit about you all over the internet and brigade the respective comment sections and chats to hate on you. The best worst part is that the OG creators don't even tell them to do it anymore. Oh, like the OG people don't even get them to brigade it. They just keep doing it. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's 4chan shit, right? I used to have this stuff all the time. I used to have this sort of stuff all the time happen to me when I was at the Young Turks because, you know, there was a lot of people on 4chan poll that would do this sort of thing. They'd sit around in forums all day and wait for new information to come out so they could fucking brigade it nonstop, right? And then a lot of those people kind of went away. That movement died down. You know, Nazism wasn't as like poggers anymore, I guess. It wasn't as hot anymore. Some of them were de-radicalized by people like Destiny. And obviously they still exist. Some of them still exist. So they just like moved to different forums. There's a lot of like anti-SJW YouTubers and their fan base that still have like holdouts of anti-SJW people that still sit around on forums and do the exact same thing. And they do it to everyone.
Gang.
And
Keep up the content at HasanAbi. Love you, man.
an overlap with these people in the 2015 era of like art in action subreddits. Yeah, exactly.
Debater Rob for weird.
I used to be a poll lurker on 4chan, but you want positive news? You took me away from that, so thank you. That's awesome. It's just that if you consider what you're doing to be morally righteous, because like you've decided that the person that you're shitting on the internet and like pathologically and obsessively following every little thing that they do and propagandize against to be a bad person, then then anything and everything you do is for a moral good. Your enemies are evil, so you will do anything and everything you can to destroy them. And I think that's where it comes from, where a lot of these people just, like I said, see that I'm just like evil. They think I'm evil. They are like, I've decided that you're like an evil person. Because my favorite YouTube essayist said you were an evil person or you were bad, that you were a grifter. You know what I mean? And that's it. Anything and everything I can do towards that goal is to fight against evil, so it's totally right. How I feel knowing that my enemies are evil and I can do no wrong, I can commit against them, yeah. Trying to be decent to Adam for a long time? What? Decent? Oh yeah, I mean I did try to be decent. Anyway. In my opinion, you have to be more active defending yourself on Twitter because that's where most of them come from. A lot of them don't come to your stream to try and understand your takes. Yeah. I know it sounds dumb, but some of those people, you look and sound like a bro dude who got bullied by, or they got all the attention. So them finding you in the politics world just enrages their incel loser. I'm sorry, but this meta commentary and Twitch drama is not as all interesting as actual issues. I see you getting stuck on this a lot, and you can literally just not address it, not read it on Reddit, and it'll take up a much smaller portion of your energy and content. Yeah. I don't think you're wrong. But, you know, such is the way of Twitch streaming. I can't be fucking, you know, dancing news monkey every day, nonstop, 24/7. It's Saturday. I'm at the end of my stream. I'm going to, you know, take a day off, come back on Monday. And sometimes it's important for people to recognize why I feel the way I do. Because it gets to a point where it's just like nonstop. It's endless.
Still want to have someone to
I will
look down
never,
upon
in the
and
eyes
feel
of so
morally
many people on the
superior.
left, I will never be correct ever again. They will never, they can agree with me on like 99.9% of issues, but they will still be like, I fucking hate him. I hate him. He's stupid. And I like these people instead. And if you see comments like that flying around, at least you should understand where they're coming from and what's guiding them. So, anyway. But having said that, I'm also going to do more I'm also going to do more you know, fun stuff.
Better after letting it out.
Like I got to collaborate with more normal Twitch streamers and YouTubers and shit and do some other stuff cuz it's getting hectic. I really hate it. I know I was supposed to do the PO box today. I'm sorry. I lied again, okay? But I'm going to open up the PO box again. So, just sad. And it's also, it was an interesting moment of reflection where it's like, this is a community. Adam Something is a content creator I've hyped up a lot. And it's weird seeing how much of a fucking, like, dishonest piece of shit he became so quickly. So, I don't know. And then also to see like another active and relatively sizable supposedly left-wing community also rushing to celebrate that as like a big dub. It's shitty.
You know what would make you feel better? GTA RP. Donnie never had
Definitely
to go through
not.
this. There is no Reddit in Los Santos.
I feel like a lot of it comes from people hating you because you're hot and you brag about it and getting girls. So since they have no success with girls, they kind of hate you for bragging. Dude, I literally never get girls. And I don't brag about getting girls. I don't get any girls. It's just like a made up thing. When am I getting girls? I'm literally live 7, 8, 10 hours a day. If anything, people say I lie about not getting girls. Anyway.
Hassle, 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 hassle.
All right. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna take here, this is the last ad break. I'm gonna take some time off. I'm gonna be back on Monday, obviously. I'm just gonna take one day off. Which sucks because like I just never know what to do when I take time off and it doesn't feel good, you know? But it's been a while.
Hasan, I just want to say thank you for being you and always streaming.
It's been a while since I've taken time off, so I should do that, you know? Gotta do more fun stuff again, you know? Reactions, TV shows, memes. There's just so much more that I could be doing that I'm not doing. And it's frustrating. I want to do more IRL streams as well. Chad Vice, all this other shit. It's like,
Hassle, hassle,
this
hassle,
sucks.
hassle, hassle.
I don't know. Anyway, love you guys for sticking around and always being charitable. You know that already though. And see you tomorrow. Wait, not tomorrow. I mean Monday. Sorry. Peace.
Playing Elden Ring off stream. So much you haven't seen.
Great names take on breaks. Tiny Bernie Sanders, LGBTQ Air Force.
Less than 3.
The whole left at your fingertips, Ane at your door. The H3 crowded debate, the Young Turks online show.
Yo.
3 full fucking years of this, plenty more to go. 90-day fiance, talks of champagne bourgeoisie. A Trump rally live reaction, a mass riot at DC. There he is again, Hasan is streaming.
Thanks for the Amazon Prime Mum.
Hasan is streaming. There he is again, Hasan is streaming. Hasan is streaming. Reading
Hassle.
live stream fair comments, Austin show chat advice. And all the ways the right-wing pipeline can suck you in online.
Let's go.
JCS react, Lord frame gets broken, cover blown. A full-blown mass pandemic, monster streaming at your home. Total radical.
Love you, Hasan. Hassle love from the UK, bruv.
Coming out to find System you were taught to trust in was broken the whole time. All these daily streams, whether big or whether small, have helped me and so many find the meaning